What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and today's build video, my friends, is based around the Catharsis mask, and it's all about armor regen. Now, a lot of you have been reaching out to the channel asking me to put together a build like this. It took me a while, but that's exactly what I'm bringing you today. If you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and I'm happy to announce our newest giveaway for a PlayStation 5. All you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow us on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year. Now, the one thing I mention at the beginning of every build video I put together is I want to remind new and returning players that this is just a template. There are so many different types of builds you could put together with the Catharsis mask. This is just one of them, so again, truly take your time and put together a build that caters towards your game style. We are going to jump right into the build breakdown, and then once we're done with that, I'll show you some more gameplay footage and answer some of the questions you typically send the channel. Now, starting off with the specialization, I'm using Technician for a very specific reason, and that's so I have the ability to equip the linked laser pointer, which is going to pulse every enemy I aim at. And I'm doing that because I have Flatline as the talent on my weapons, and I have Perfect Spotter as the talent on my chest. Now, you do have other options in regards to specializations. You can use Gunner, and you can use the Banshee Pulse, and always remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, make sure you have the proper weapons equipped in your weapon skill tree. That way you're always getting an extra 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of what you have equipped. Moving on to my primary weapon, it is the Kingbreaker named Assault Rifle. Absolutely love this weapon. It is a guaranteed drop in the current seasonal reward track, and it has the talent Perfect Flatline, which amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies, and after 2 kills it applies pulse to the next enemy you hit. However, since we are using a linked laser pointer, as you can see, we can equip it with this weapon. We are pulsing every single enemy we target. My secondary weapon for this build is the Vector SBR 45 ACP. Now, the reason I'm using this SMG is because certain SMGs in the game have long barrels, and with that you can also equip that linked laser pointer. So once again, this one has the talent Flatline, so no matter what I'm aiming at, I'm automatically pulsing. Once again, to be clear, that just means that every single time I use my primary or secondary weapon, I'm always having the talent on those weapons active no matter what. Now, moving on to the gear itself. You can see I'm running the Catharsis mask, 1 Uzina, 2 Golan gear, 1 Murakami, and 1 Bellstone. Starting off with the mask, it is the Catharsis, which is the new exotic mask introduced with Title Update 15. Now, it is a guaranteed drop in the seasonal reward track at level 90, and for those of you that haven't gotten that far as yet, it also happens to be in the general loot pool, so if you set your targeted loot to mask, you do have an opportunity to pick it up that way as well. Now, the reason this mask is so effective is because of its talent Vicious Cycle. Taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stacks triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud which restores 5% max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. Next, we have our body armor, which is the one piece of Uzina that we have equipped, so we get that 5% total armor bonus. This is the named body armor, the Closer, which has the talent Perfect Spotter, which increases total weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. And remember, because we are using that linked laser pointer, every single enemy we target is pulsed, therefore we are always getting that weapon and skill damage bonus. Moving on to the holster, it's the first of 2 pieces of the Golan gear set that we have equipped, and the only reason we're equipping 2 pieces so we get that extra 1% armor regen. Now, one thing I want to point out is that this version of the build is all about survivability for me. So for instance, every piece I have, I want to have that armor regen. However, I'd much rather have as that second attribute crit hit chance or crit hit damage, but again, this is the best gear I currently have for this type of build. Next, we have the knee pads, and they are the named Emperor's Guard knee pads. Now, these are a Dark Zone exclusive. You can also get them from named caches, so I strongly suggest playing Countdown, get some of those Countdown resources, buy some named caches, and hopefully you can find these knee pads. Now, for those of you that may not have these knee pads, you do have a few other options. You could use another piece of Golan gear. You could use a second piece of Uzina, which would give you 10% armor on kill. And while you won't be getting that 1% armor regen, the one thing you want to make sure you do with whatever gear set you happen to use for your knee pads is make sure that one of those minor attributes is that armor regen, because that will definitely help out. Next, my friends, we have the gloves, which are the second piece of golden gear, so we get that 1% armor regen bonus. Now, because of the way these pieces rolled for me, I'm trying to stack, obviously, armor regen, but I'm also using, hazard protection from elites, because that is the best type of build for the gear that I currently have. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, once we get through the build breakdown, I will go over some other options for those of you that do have different pieces. And finally, we have the backpack. It is the one piece of Bellstone, so we get that other 1% armor regen, and it has the talent Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times, and pretty much with this build, you're getting pretty close to NPCs, so you're typically always having that bonus armor. As far as my skills go, I'm using the Assault Drone because it is a great distraction to NPC and puts out damage as well. And the only reason I have the Crusader Shield equipped is because with this shield, you're going to get a skill tier increases with both armor and skill core attributes. So as you can see, because I have 6 blue core attributes, I'm sitting at skill tier 6 for my shield. It's going to give me a ton of extra, protection just in case things get sideways. So for those of you just getting used to an armor regen build, I definitely recommend giving this a shot. However, with that being said, I really don't think I use my shield at all in the footage you're looking at. I may have once or twice. I honestly don't remember. But the point is, you could use that. You could use a decoy skill. Again, you have a lot of different options, so definitely pick one that suits your game style. And as I start to wrap this video up, obviously your build is going to be dependent on the type of gear you have. So for me, because of the way these pieces of gear dropped, I only had a few different options I could choose from in order to put a build together. However, I'm now in the process of doing more farming to try to get a piece of golden gear, let's say that has armor as the core attribute. One of the minor attributes is, armor regen, and the other is crit hit chance, because I definitely would like to have more weapon power with this build. With that being said, even though it is an all blue build and there are definitely some changes and improvements I'd like to make to it, it can really get the job done. It's a nice balanced build. I use it for countdown, running control points, things like that, so I sincerely hope you do enjoy it. And actually, really quick, I forgot to show you my armor regen is sitting at just over 80,000. So again, that can definitely be improved, but as you can see by the footage, you can definitely stay alive pretty well with this thing. So anyway, most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know in the comment section down below, as the main goal is to try to help out as many people as we can. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel, and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.